Hey guys, Shane Roberson here from Integrity Web Studios. Today we're going to continue our Learning WordPress for Businesses tutorials on how to set up your WordPress framework and website. With that being said, we're going to jump back into cPanel. I know we've already done a video on this. The difference being the video that we just launched was doing this manually, whereas this one is going to be using the quick auto script installers that some of these cPanels come equipped with. This is why I'm so adamant about cPanel and some of the more reputable hosting companies, because they do add these auto scripts in the cPanel, which makes setting WordPress up a lot easier, certainly a lot quicker. So scrolling down inside of this particular cPanel, we see that it's labeled top applications. It may be applications. I know in Bluehost it's just called website. At the end of the day, you're just going to look for your frameworks. These are all different types of frameworks. Ironically, all of these are built on the exact same code and database systems that WordPress is built on. And just WordPress is the animal in the room in that it's the most used globally and obviously one of my favorites. And needless to say, the favorite of most of the world, if it is the number one going framework right now. With that being said, in this instance, we're inside of the InMotion Hosting cPanel, and with that, we're just going to click on the WordPress icon, and from here, it's going to open up this installer inside of InMotion. It's called Softaculous, and GoDaddy, I think it's labeled Installatron, but something very similar to this. In any case, we're just going to go ahead and click Install Now. Alright, and then from here, it's nothing more than a wizard. We're going to answer a few questions, and all I'm going to do is just walk you through how to answer it. So choose protocol. We're always going to choose HTTP or HTTP www. I simply prefer the www dot, but choosing this as opposed to the HTTPS and www dot. And the difference is the S, for those who didn't know, is for secured websites, which at this point in time we don't have an SSL set up, so this wouldn't apply to us. If we do get an SSL certificate, if this turns out to be an e-commerce website and we add the SSL later, it's not a big deal to come in here and change this. And I'll show you where to do that actually inside of the WordPress website to make it secure. But with that being said, for our setup purposes as of today, it's just going to be the regular protocol, HTTP, and then again, my preference is the www dot, right? And then we have the domain name. I have a few different domain names here, or two actually. And what you're going to see here is the domain name that we actually own, and then this is the cPanel's version of this. So basically, this is great for companies that maybe are building a new website and don't want to take your old website down. So what would happen is, instead of just selecting this, and then we would obviously have to point our domain name at this domain name we have here, we would have to go into our domain manager and point it to this. Well, if we have a live site up now and we point it back to this hosting setup, then we would lose the other site. The other site wouldn't be visible anymore. So what this does, if we choose this option, it allows us to run the website. This would essentially be our quote-unquote domain name until we're ready to go live with it, and this would be fully functioning. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and choose our regular WordPress for Businesses, and here it's going to ask what directory. Normally, you're going to want nothing here. You want it in the root directory of the public_HTML. However, because we did a manual install already, I do have a website in this location. So what I'm going to do is create another one. So we will call this subdirectory quick install. All right, and what it's going to do, it's going to create a new folder called quick install, and it will install the website inside of that. If I try to simply overwrite the other website, it wouldn't allow it because the files are there. At this point, basically just giving it a name, and we'll just call it Word. And the site description. So you can't leave this open. This used to be called tagline, but you can't leave this without anything in it. So even if you don't have a tagline at this point, go ahead and just paste your name in there for the moment, right? We're not going to enable multiple site. Basically, this is an option that, let's say that you're a real estate company, like a realty company, and all of your agents, you want to provide them with their own individual site. Well, you are able to do that with a single install of WordPress. So basically you would create your master WordPress website, and then from there you could come in and clone that website out with the same look, feel, design, plugins. Everything would be the same, and then each one can be tweaked differently. So in that case, like in the example of the real estate company, each of the agents can come in and build their own profile pages and add their own listings, and it would all look and feel the same, so you could tell that it's in the same family. With that being said, we are not going to do that, so we're going to leave this unchecked. All right. Admin user, we're going to go ahead and give it your name, right? Whoops, I did it all caps. And password, I just let them give us a, that doesn't look very long, so I'm going to just double it up. Alright, so as long as it's a strong password, it's trying to give me an admin. I'm going to go ahead and add my email address. Make sure that you add an email address that you monitor regularly. Don't let it just autofill for you. Alright, here we want to keep it in English. Limit login attempts, yes. We want to stop people from trying to brute force attack us. WP Forms Lite, no, that's some kind of add-on. We don't need that. Just so you can see the advanced options, you won't need to mess with this, but you can name your database and a table prefixes. And this is for stuff that you're never really going to mess with. Again, this whole tutorial is based on the average Joe who's not going to be diving into their database or chasing things like this. So, so for the most part, you're not going to need it. What you will need to do is, let's go ahead and click Auto Upgrade. And what this does, every time WordPress releases a new version, this will automatically update your website to the newest version. Usually when they release a new version, it's because of a security patch or some improvement, and not doing so in a timely manner puts your website at risk for being hacked or damaged or just breaking altogether. So with that being said, I like to go ahead and add this for my clients to automatically install the latest, only the major updates from WordPress. That way they're never that far behind. And as far as auto upgrading WordPress plugins, I do not allow that, because sometimes new releases may break new plugins because the plugins have to be caught up with the upgrade. So it's just a good thing to leave that undone and do those manually. Same thing with the themes, right? And then backup locations. Sometimes these installers will have backups built into them, and we're just going to go ahead and keep it as default. This is a great tool for, just basically for anybody with a WordPress website, but the fact that it's built into the installer is pretty awesome. So we're just going to go ahead and install that, and it's going to take a minute and give me a progress bar here. There we go, guys. So you'll notice that my new website is actually found at the subfolder quick install, and it will give you the two links. The front end, so if we click that, it's going to take me to the front end location, which is the what the rest of the world would see. And while that's loading up, I'll also click on the back end, right? So here's the front end. This is the 2017 default theme by WordPress. Pretty basic, but as you can see, it's completely installed. And then here is, because I'm already inside of my cPanel, the credentials are already added, so it passed that security token on, so I'm already inside of the back end of this website. You'll notice /quick install WP-admin. So that's it, guys. So we did the quick install. As you can see, it's much quicker. Although my explanation kind of drew this out a little bit, it really only takes probably 3 or 4 minutes to get this puppy up off the ground. Um, with that said, guys, I'm out for the day. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I will join in and we'll knock those out together. Thanks so much.